Previously, on the new Love and Basketball, we got to meet the greatest sports couple of all time. One half of that couple being Kalani Knight, a girl who grew up in a really good neighborhood and also had two parents with good jobs who were also former collegiate athletes. So playing sports was in her blood. Playing basketball was in her blood. And in high school, she was an All-American and received multiple D1 offers. But the one she accepted would be the one to Stanford University. While hooping at Stanford, she became a star on campus, getting NIL deals here and there, bought her parents a new house, and also bought herself an $80,000 sports car. And while on campus, she would meet her soon-to-be boyfriend, Corey Cash, a guy who had come from a completely different background that was more so low-income housing and living poor. But he was able to work his way up and go to Stanford as well. By the time Kalani was in her junior year, Corey was the new man on campus, the All-Star freshman who had committed to Stanford after having a strong senior season. And by the way he was hooping his freshman year, he was going to be a one-and-done type of player. And after him and Kalani met, she became super supportive, watching all of his games. But don't get it twisted, she was making a name for herself as well. And the two were both becoming rising stars. Now it started off as them just being cool, but after nights of hanging out and a little bit of fooling around, they ended up making it official, and they was a couple. And when you see the two on the court, they almost played identical. They were both two of the best players in the college game, and they were looking to take their talents to the pros. Now as for me, Corey Cash, after my freshman year at Stanford, I ended up going to the league. I got drafted to the Chicago Bulls, and I really made a name for myself my rookie season. That ended in a championship. Now Kalani, on the other hand, she had to come back for her senior season. And let me tell you, she went absolutely crazy. Her March Madness tournament run was one of the greatest we had ever seen in the history of March Madness tournament runs. And after eliminating USC and moving on to the national championship, she would lead Stanford to yet another title. And it was obvious where she was going. She was taking her talents to the WNBA. And as for me, after my rookie season, I ended up having a little situation, which would then lead to me getting traded. And where would I go? I would end up taking my talents down to DC, and I would become a member of the Washington Wizards, who at the time was the worst team in the league. And let me tell you something, even though they was the worst team in the league, I was an NBA champion already. But getting traded to Washington will make our story even more crazy because Kalani ended up getting drafted to the Mystics. That's right, a power couple who both went to Stanford, and now we was both hooping in the same city, the same area, and we was finna have Washington turned up, best believe. Now after getting drafted, Kalani's debut was highly anticipated, and let me tell you, the moment she stepped on the court in the W, she started to go crazy. I mean, this has been one of the best rookies we had seen since Candace Parker. And not only was she doing her thing on the court, but off the court, she was starting to become a superstar already. She already had a huge following in college, and that following definitely followed her to the league. I mean, she was a real public figure. Everybody had their eyes on Kalani. But the people also had their eyes on Corey as well. A guy who had accomplished a lot in just his first few seasons in the NBA. Already a two-time champion and a public figure himself, went on to win yet another ring. Hey man, Washington was turned. And it was mainly because of this power couple. A couple that was truly in love with each other. And from the looks of it, they're gonna be together for a long time, even after basketball. But right now, we gotta focus on the present. Now I'm pretty sure everybody watching can agree that Kalani is on her way to being the best player in the WNBA already. But with that being said, she still got a lot of doubters to prove wrong. and she had a key matchup against Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. And let me tell you, this matchup was pretty crazy. You see, last time we seen Kalani versus Angel, it was at the collegiate level. And between me and y'all, that wasn't even a matchup. It was safe to say that LSU had the better team. But the way Kalani was hooping that day, man, she made it look easy. Nobody on the team could guard her, and her and Cameron Brink definitely put on a show. And to start off this game, it was no different. I mean, Kalani was shooting the lights out. And like a student who got a question in class, the defense need to put their hand up. You know what they say? Hand down, man down. Or in this case, woman down. But anyway, I was training with Kalani all off season. And let me tell you, her bag has definitely got deeper. And trust me, that ain't the only thing that's deep. But anyway, man, we did all types of drills over the off season. She was already a good shooter, but I tried to get a mid-range incorporated in her game. She already had one, but I'm telling you, if she get that down packed, she's literally unguardable. I mean, people already can't guard her and she barely shoot mid-ranges. But it's the most slept on shot in basketball if you ask me, as she drive to the cup and get what should have been an and one bucket, but you know how them refs be, man. But hey, I got a question for y'all. What do y'all do when y'all start talking to a girl and you see a bunch of red flags in her? You take a step back. And that's what Kalani did just now. Absolutely torching the defense. And she hit the MJ shrug after. Look, I'ma say it again, man. Do not let the pretty face fool you. This girl's probably the biggest trash talker in the league already. But man, as the game went on, the Mystics was showing that they a pretty good team. As she drive to the lane and get the tough, high pickup, reverse lay. But I'm telling you, this mug was kind of wild. And basketball is a game of runs. In the beginning of the game, that's exactly what the Mystics did. Went on a huge run with Kalani leading the pack. And to be honest, this was no surprise. I mean, Kalani always be making the first move. But anyway, had to hit old girl with a Pop-Tart and she brought out the Sham God. Right after that, drove and got the spin layup right over Angel. Hey man, somebody tell Angel Geese she need to play some better defense. The Sky gon' need it. But I couldn't believe she brought out the Sham God. I'm telling y'all, them drills we did over the off season got her ball control right. And I mean, the ball control was already there if you ask me. But now, it's even better. Even though she was absolutely deep frying the defense this game, one thing you can say about the Mystics, they not fully developed as a team yet. And that's as expected. I mean, this only the first season they playing together, and they got a lot of rookies on this squad. And with Elena Deladon leaving, they needed a new leader. And Kalani's a good leader, but sometimes she might have to sacrifice her scoring opportunities to make her teammates better. Now, y'all know me. Corey Cash ain't sacrificing no scoring opportunities. If I see I can get to the cup or shoot it, I'm doing it. So of course I'm gonna try to tell her those things, but everybody ain't gotta be like me. Y'all can tell Lonnie been in that weight room, man. She out here moving defenders like it ain't nothing and finishing through contact. And trust me, man, this girl loves going through contact. But man, y'all gotta step up. Cause she is also a certified sniper, and we all know that. Might be the best shooter on the channel, but that's for y'all to debate. But this matchup between Angel and Kalani, man, it was living up to the hype, let me tell you. There was also a lot of people in attendance, which is rare to see at some WNBA games, but it's a new era. They got some new young stars in the league, and they ready to take over for years to come. But as I mentioned earlier, basketball is a game of runs. And after the Mystics went on that big run in the first, the Sky ended up coming back and taking the lead. Now I know you thinking how, but like I said, the team ain't fully developed yet, and they not all together yet. So Kalani, hey, she had to score this game if they was gonna have any chance at winning. I mean, it came to a point where they was down by 10, and she just said forget it and took over. And man, she was starting to score at all three levels. Got a tough and one in the post, and the defender could not believe it. But hey, I was in the crowd for this game and the energy was definitely in the building. I mean, man, she was getting past the defense with ease, turning the crowd up. And I'm surprised she did a regular layup on that one. She normally like it in reverse. Like the reverse layup. And at the end of the third quarter with the clock winding down, they desperately needed a bucket and Kalani got the tough finish at the buzzer. And to be honest, watching that live and in person, I don't know how she made that, but man, I've been saying that since Stanford. Sometimes this girl just be making some crazy shots. And she got that clutch gene in her. When the clock winding down, you need a bucket or a play to be made, make sure KK got the ball, nobody else. And after that, it gave the Mystics enough energy to pull out that W. And a few days later, it was the matchup everybody was waiting to see. The Mystics versus the Fever, aka KK versus Caitlin Clark, part 2. And man, if y'all been watching, y'all know what happened in the college matchup. It was highly anticipated and it lived up to the hype. But now, this is the first time they facing each other at the pro level. And let me tell you, the expectations for both is kind of similar. But there can only be one girl that comes into the WNBA and becomes the next star like Sue Bird or Diana Taurasi. And honestly, a lot of people was already sold on Caitlin Clark. But if it's one person that can take her spot, it's for sure Kalani Knight. So every time they went against each other, she had something to prove. Starting off, she missed the layup but got the rebound and got the reverse lay. I'm telling y'all, she like it in reverse. She not a cowgirl though. And one of the most common sayings in basketball that everybody know, if you give the ball up, you're most likely gonna get it back. And on this play, Kalani knocked down the tray ball right over Caitlin Clark. Hey man, caught her sleeping. And I'm telling you, we all know Clark can shoot. Might be one of the best shooters in NCAA history. But have y'all forgotten the sniper that Kalani is? Man, that college matchup, you might want to go rewatch that. I ain't gonna give you no spoilers, but man, like a KFC stock room, it was a whole lot of buckets. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but man, Kalani make women's basketball exciting. When the off season was over, I gotta be honest, I miss watching her play. Just the energy she bring, and now it's even more stars in the WNBA, so it's starting to get more eyes on it. So I definitely think this whole season is gonna be one people don't want to miss. And KK got a household name too, just like Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, all the rookies in this class. And it could potentially be the greatest rookie draft class in WNBA history. On the other end, man, Clark started to heat up. And this is what the people came to see. Them going tit for tat, hitting shots, really trying to see who the alpha. And that's exactly what was going to happen this game. But KK wasn't backing down. On the next possession, drove right by Caitlin Clark, broke some ankles, and then finished with the easy layup. Man, talk about Sports Center top 10. She drove right past Caitlin Clark, and I honestly thought the big was gonna stop her, but she hit her with a mean cross. I'm talking about, that's something I would do. But man, I'm telling y'all, she tough, bro. She be training with one of the best players in the NBA, but she didn't really need my help, man. She been tough since high school. Everybody just starting to find out about it now. Now, no team was able to jump out to an early lead. I would think the Fever would be playing a little bit better since they had home court advantage. As KK found the wide open teammate for the corner three. Before the game, Kalani was telling me that she thought Caitlin Clark was terrible at pick and roll defense. So they was gonna try to abuse that all game, and man, it was working. I don't think it was just Caitlin Clark though. The whole Indiana Fever defense was terrible in the pick and roll. So Kalani just kept calling them, and what do you know? She gets straight to the bucket for the Lay's chips. Alright, maybe not Lay's. We gonna rock with the cheddar ruffles this time. Off a pin down, Kalani caught it, kicked it out to the wide open shooter. And the Mystics knocked down another 3. Not only was she doing it all on the offensive end, but y'all know she liked to play them passing lanes. and she caught Aaliyah Boston sleeping trying to get the ball to Caitlin Clark. I'm telling y'all, she played defense too. Really a two-way superstar if you ask me. And you already know who taught her that. I mean, the ways of the pest is the best. And it was at this moment where the Mystics started to take off. And this game was getting out of hand for the Fever. And Kalani did not stop, man. She wanted to go out there and show she was levels above Caitlin Clark. So anytime she got the opportunity, she'd go right at her. And she got her with the small Pop-Tart and finished with the left hand layup. I don't know what the big was sitting there doing. They should have doubled, to be honest, but I guess she just wasn't thinking. And once Kalani had Caitlin on that island, you already know she was hitting the spin move. Got him with the pump fake, and then it was just all about finishing after that. I must say, watching Kalani hoop is a lot like when she at home. It's a whole lot of finishing, and it's fast paced. Hey, Caitlin Clark wasn't backing down though. On the other end, she was finding ways to get open. And Kalani had to fight through a lot of screens just to contest. And when she did get a good contest, Caitlin Clark's shot would be off. Now it's a good thing she was able to get a hand up on a lot of these shots, because if she didn't, man, Caitlin would have been hitting a lot more shots. But man, as of right now, she was bricking. And midway through the third, Kalani wasn't slowing down at all. Drove and got a tough layup right over Caitlin and the rest of the defense. Man, this was starting to become a one-on-one match, because back on the other end, hey, Caitlin got open and Kalani was not able to get there in time. Got a decent contest, but with Caitlin Clark, you're gonna need a great contest. And sometimes that ain't even gonna work. Normally Caitlin Clark do a little bit of showboating, but I think she realized who she was playing against this game, and she did not want to play with fire. But man, I was telling y'all earlier, she do play that defense. Don't get it twisted, man. Kalani will pick up 94 feet. And if she sensed she can get an easy bucket out of that, she most definitely gonna do it. And that's exactly what she did. I feel bad for the Fever, because when she get locked in on defense, she really become a dog. And by the time the fourth quarter came around, it was basically good night Irene for the Fever. I mean, at this point, Kalani was just ISOing and getting highlights. And she got the step back jumper right over the defender with ease. And man, she was just having fun at this point, bruh. I felt bad for the Fever, but surprisingly, the coach did not take Kalani out. I don't know if she was trying to get a certain amount of points, a certain stat, but if that was me, I would have been ready to come out the game. I'm not about to risk no injury or nothing, but maybe the Fever was talking trash and she wanted to stay in the full game just to make them suffer. Either way, it was looking pretty bad. Y'all know what's worse than one deadly step back? Two of them things. Man, Kalani was ruthless, bruh. I ain't even go into detail about some of the shots she was taking this game. I mean, one of them was literally a pump fake, step back, pull. And that's a crazy hard shot to hit, but hey, the type of player she is, she made it look super easy. And then by the time you saw the shot go in, she'd already be running back celebrating somehow. It's no doubt that KK enjoyed playing the game. I mean, she really loved it. And it seemed like she was a fan favorite already. So if she kept moving on this trajectory, she could become the face of the league. And if that happens, man, that could lead to big money and a lot of opportunity. But I don't think she cared about the money. She just loved hooping, bro, as I mentioned earlier. Even threaded the needle with a crazy pass to get the assist. You gotta respect Caitlin Clark though. She finished the game with 30 points, and she did not stop playing until the final buzzer. I mean, this three right here was heavily contested, and she even kicked her foot out, and somehow, nothing but net. That's one of them shots where you just gotta shrug your shoulders and move on, man. But even though Caitlin Clark had 30 points, Kalani had 45. Yeah, she was going that crazy. And right after Caitlin hit that tough contested three, Kalani came on the other end with yet another snatch back. And drained it. I'm telling you, you could not one up Kalani, bro. If you scored on her, she was coming down on the other end and do everything in her power to deep fry your ass. But I mean, that's just how she operate, man. I loved it. And for some reason, coach still did not take her out the game. She basically played until the final buzzer, and it didn't help that she drove and got the and one bucket. Had the defense absolutely frustrated, and if I was the coach of the Fever, I just would have walked out, man. There is no way it's only 30 seconds left, and the star player's still out here getting and one buckets. I mean, come on, man. Ref, just blow the whistle, chalk up the L, and move on. In a classic showdown between KK and Caitlin Clark, Kalani showed that not only is she a great scorer and a great player, but she coming for the top spot. Not just for the rookie class, but for the entire league. And man, the rest of them teams better watch out. She may be on her way to a chip. And her and other rookies like Caitlin Clark are definitely going to take this league to the next level. If I was y'all, I would most definitely stay tuned. Now pretty soon it was time for KK to have another key matchup. But this time, it will be against the Sparks. And after the Las Vegas Aces traded Kelsey Plum to this team in the offseason, KK had to deal with that problem all night, running through multiple screens and all around just trying to defend one of the best scorers in the league. But not only did she have to go against Kelsey Plum, she will also be going against her former teammate from Stanford, Cameron Brink. And these two hadn't played against each other since practice at Stanford. So this was definitely going to be a fun one to watch. But the Sparks definitely came out guns blazing, trying to show the Mystics that even though it's a new era in that organization, they coming for the top spot. But as soon as Kelsey Plum went to score on KK, y'all know how she get. She coming right back down the floor, looking to get her bucket as well. Called ISO on Kelsey. Hey, and it was murder she wrote by then. Drove right past her and Cam and got the tough layup to finish. Now I know y'all didn't think just because they was former teammates that KK was gonna take it easy on them. Hey, y'all already know, man. It's all about competition. And when it comes to Kalani Knight, she trying to show you that there is no competition. You gotta watch yourself when you out there playing with her. But 5-7 in the first quarter, another ISO on Kelsey Plum led to another bucket. It was looking like she wasn't going to be able to guard KK all night. Now, even though it might be vice versa on the other end, we know KK is a better defender than her. So, hey, if this is going to be a battle of buckets being traded, y'all most likely know who's going to win that battle every single time. She sit down on defense, and she'll take you hard on offense. Now, that's one of them type of players you pray to God you don't meet on the court. And if you do, hey, may the Lord be with you. But anyway, as the game went on, man, the Mystics started to go on a run. And you can already probably guess who was the leader of that run. Man, she was out there having fun with it too. Smiling after every bucket, every play. And it wasn't one of them all nice and cute type of smiles. It was like one of them Joker type of smiles. Them Harley Quinn type of smiles. And on top of that, you know she a certified sniper already. Every time she came down the court, she didn't even look for a screen or nothing. It was just cook Kelsey Plum. That was the game plan for the entire first quarter. But man, that step back was kind of vicious, I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, that thing damn near sent Kelsey Plum back to Las Vegas. Come on now, you gotta guard up better than that. No ankle braces, no nothing. You going out there playing with your life. Can't do that with KK. But man, the Mystics was really starting to figure it out. They had their leader. They just struggled on defense a little bit. When it came to switching and help defense, that's an area they needed to get better in. And to win championships, you gotta have the whole starting five and some bench players that could sit down and guard. But on the offensive end, you already know they good. They got one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer in the league already, Kalani Knight. And Kelsey Plum was going through hell every single possession. I felt bad for her watching it, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have suited up and went out and tried to help, but hey, once that girl KK get going, I don't think there's anybody on the planet who could stop her. Unless you're Corey Cash, I really do that. But we not talking about me right now. We talking about the soul snatcher Kalani Knight, on and off the court. Do not ask me how I know that. But anyway, by the time the second quarter hit, man, the Mystics was up 20, and KK was showing no signs of slowing down. I mean, it was bucket after bucket, coming off the pick and roll for a pull-up mid-range. Off the glass, too. That's different, bruh. She was scoring from all three levels, midi, behind the arc, and of course at the cup. And even though she was super competitive and didn't like to talk to none of her opponents, she definitely shared a few words with Cameron during the game. I mean, them two go way back. Of course they still gonna be cool. Maybe one day they can link back up on the same team. Probably just won't be the Sparks. And man, like Nick Cannon, KK was wilding out. Straight dribbled to the corner spot and pulled up for a fading tray ball. Just casual too. Like that was just a regular thing. That's how you know she different, bro. To be honest, I don't even know if I would have pulled that type of shot in that situation. But I guess she figured we already up 20 plus, might as well have fun with it. And she was engaged with the Washington crowd too. After she hit that three, she damn near ran into the crowd. And even though it was only the third quarter, some of the LA fans was already headed for the exits. The diehard fans at least. Some of them had LA jerseys on, but they was still there to see KK. They didn't want to see nobody else. I'm telling y'all, she had that aura. She had that effect. And she also had that lethal jump shot that didn't go nowhere. 49-82 in the fourth quarter. It was getting bad, bruh. I'm telling you, the Sparks gonna have to call for some help. This girl was scoring whenever she wanted, however she wanted. And Kelsey was not able to stop her all night. I don't think it was one possession where she got a stop on her. KK was out there doing whatever, bruh. And still, to this day, it's so crazy to me how much separation she gets off the step back. I mean, she be sending people from the three-point line to the paint damn near. It's crazy, man. That's what putting in that work in the gym will get you. And you would think the coach would be like, all right, KK, the game is already won. It's time for you to sit on the bench. But she was getting close to 50 points, so she was like, nah, let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Showing no remorse at all. Didn't care about the risk of injury or none of that. 70 to 100. They put up 100 on them girls, bruh. And after one final lay that would give her the 50-point game, it was time for her to sit, and the Mystics was going to walk out with another dub. Now, this season for KK went from good to great. I mean, she had finally understood the league. She could score whenever she want, and it didn't matter what team they was going against. She was putting up numbers versus every single opponent in the league. Night in and night out. Really making her case for one of the best players in the league. And it might sound crazy to say because it's so early in her career, but I think she became the face of the league. I mean, bro, she was #1 in jersey sales. Everybody was coming to every single arena just to see her play. Didn't matter if it was the home team or away team. And she was trending almost every single time she stepped on the floor just because of the things she was doing. Man, them views in the W was at an all-time high. And pretty soon, we was approaching the midpoint in the season. And you know it was time to cast those All-Star votes in. And not only was Lonnie getting a lot of votes, man, she was leading the league in All-Star votes. And you know what that meant. She was going to end up being the captain. Now, I can't cap. A'ja Wilson's votes was through the roof as well. And it eventually got to a point where she surpassed Kalani, but she was still in that #2 spot. So no matter what, KK was going to end up being the captain this year. And let me tell you, the All-Star game was definitely lit. And on top of that, she had faced A'ja the game before the All-Star game. And she took the Aces to their limit. But sadly, she wasn't able to get the win. But it was all good because she had a chance to get that get back in the All-Star game. It was Team Asia versus Team Lonnie. And let me tell you, Kalani had revenge in her eyes and redemption on her mind. After taking that loss to the Aces, she wanted to come in here and get a win. Sometimes All-Star break can be a time where the superstars just chill and have a little fun. But that was not Kalani Knight, ladies and gentlemen. She's competitive 24/7. And she had another competitor on her team in Caitlin Clark. And these are two young superstars that are eventually going to run the league, if not doing it already. And they was on the same team? That's a duo, a match made in heaven. Caitlin was pulling from deep, knocking down tray balls with ease. And you already know Kalani can do the same thing. I know y'all remember a few months back when they went against each other. Now just imagine them on the same team. If they had fireworks then, they gonna have fireworks now. And also on the team was her former teammate Cameron Brink. I just mentioned to y'all not too long ago. Maybe one day they'll link up again. And even though it's for one game, a lot of fans got to see it would be a scary duo, a scary team if they had Cameron Brink and Kalani Knight. And man, she was really with the shifts all game. They had Sabrina Ionescu on her, but they needed to put somebody else on her because Sabrina got shifted all the way back to New York. We'll see you later. And it didn't help that she flexed on her afterwards. But to sum things up, the All-Star game was a dominant performance by Kalani Knight. Not only did she show out against every single team she went against, but she showed out against a team full of All-Stars. And at this moment, it was clear, no doubt about it, she was the best in the league. Playoff time was approaching, and the Mystics had one final road game. And who would it be against? The Minnesota Lynx, a team who had been going crazy this season. But at the same time, so have the Mystics. Because of Kalani Knight, they was number one in the conference, number one in the division. Locking up that one seed is something special. And not a lot of people thought the Mystics would be good this year, but they didn't know about Lonnie. Now this will be a matchup between KK and Fee, the key matchup of the game. And ironically, they was both from the same hometown. So I guess tonight, we gonna see who the real hometown hero is. But listen though, Kalani came out guns blazing, scored 15-15, and high key, this game right here was considered to be the game of the year. Not just a candidate, the clear-cut game of the year, bruh. And you gonna see why in a minute. But starting off, coming into enemy territory, KK was showing she ain't scared of nobody. And even though they already got the seed locked and the playoffs is around the corner, she's still down to compete and get as many wins as possible. She was even doing dirty work in the post. I'm telling you, a real 3-level scorer can do it from anywhere on the floor. And Fee on the other end, she was doing what she does. Calling the ISO, getting to her spot, and showing why she's the best player on the team. She was going crazy and unrivaled this year. And she brought that same talent, that same scoring ability, that same fear factor back to the W. But Lonnie didn't care about none of that. She got the easy rip on Fee and then drove straight to the cup for the easy layup. Yeah, I know she played that defense, man. You could be the best or worst player on the floor. She gonna look to lock you up and put points on the board on the other end. And that rip was clean, no foul. That's why Fee didn't even complain. She got all ball. She used to doing that. And as for the layup, hey man, you know what LeBron said. Come on, man. That's way too easy. Lay's chips. Let me get those. Don't matter what gas station, don't matter what flavor. And on the very next possession, she went right back to the Baja. Only this time, it was a Euro lay. One of the cleanest ones I've seen her do in a long time. Split right through the defense like it wasn't even there. Hey man, that's a pro move. To everybody watching, you better learn that. I'm telling you, it's gonna help you get a lot of buckets in your career. But anyway, man, as the game went on, this mug was tit for tat, super close. But at the end of the day, you know Lonnie's still gonna shoot. She got to. I mean, that's her specialty right there. Along with getting to the cup again for another tough layup. But the Lynx was not laying down, man. They was keeping that small lead ahead. But you already know, once Kalani get going, no lead is safe. And man, the jump shot was looking as pure as ever. I don't know why the defense wasn't putting a hand up. They acting like it's still 2020. They social distancing and all that. You can get up, bro. Play some defense. 62-65 in the third quarter. Right back to the cup for the and one bucket. Hey, if they ain't gonna guard it, if they ain't gonna stop it, I mean, why not keep going to it? You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Fee played amazing defense, but hey, it was just better offense. I don't know how Kalani got that shot to go, but hey, you just gotta be a pro. A very up-tempo game, but for Kalani, it was moving slow. And on the next possession, she went straight back to the lane for a layup. You already know. And it was at this point in the game where a lot of Kalani teammates weren't touching the ball for more than a few seconds, because she was starting to go crazy. I mean, absolutely ballistic. Every time she shot the ball, it was going in. She couldn't miss. But yet and still, the Lynx was not going away easy. But man, KK was hitting some tough shots. I mean, it's not like the Lynx wasn't out here playing defense at all. They just going against an elite player. She was driving to the cup, getting whatever she wanted. And if they slept on defense, she was definitely shooting that mug from Yucatan. It didn't matter, as she drove and got another and one bucket. And with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth, it was clutch time. And every time you need her in the clutch, she gonna show up. Drove past 2 defenders and got that layup to go. Man, I taught her everything she know. All eyes around the world was on this game. And man, it was definitely living up to the hype. These was 2 of the best teams in the league, and from the beginning buzzer, from the beginning tip-off, either team was not letting up, and neither one of them wanted to go home with an L, especially not the Lynx. I mean, they at the crib. But Lonnie drove for yet another and one bucket, continuing to put points on the board like it ain't nothing. But the clock is winding down. It's about a minute left, and KK had yet another tough finish at the rim. That's a foul, ref. With the clock winding down, 10 seconds, the Mystics needed 1 bucket. KK drove to the paint and got another tough layup, and they had to call a timeout with 2.8 left to go. Oh my goodness, man. This girl comes up clutch every single time. She even tried to troll and jump in they huddle, bruh. They pushed her out that mug. Got the rip on Fee again in overtime and got the layup to give the Mystics a 4-point lead, which was the largest lead they had in a minute. And that's crazy, bro. It's only 4 points. But the magnitude of this game was crazy. And it seemed like the energy had shifted, and the Mystics was going to do enough to win this game. And in the end, that's exactly what they did. The last road game of the regular season would end with a W. Only one more game into the playoffs. But something would then happen that would change everything. And it would make it questionable if Lonnie would play or not.